After competing in the Carthage College Shootout to open up its season, the North Central women's golf team is back at Naperbrook and hosting Carroll University for a duel. Sweltering 95-degree heat, it's not going to keep these golfers off the course. Let's start on the 6th tee box with junior Alex Brummer. She's pulling out the driver with 385 yards standing between her and the green. She pokes it right down the middle. Speaking of being in the middle, that's where junior Maggie Russell is in the fairway, and she winds up inside 10 feet. Her playing mate in the top group, Kaylee McDade, and the lefty also finding the dance floor, but a little further away, and both end up with pars. To the 8th, and Brummer staring down a $130 on the par 3. Check out the perfect placement. On the green in 1, 2 putts in for a par. Back to the 7th for the 3rd and final playing group, Laura Ringo approaching the 7th green, and the recovery shot, beautiful, rolls it to within 10 feet. She winds up with a round of 88. Same green, different player, Brianna Ergastolo from just off the green. And how about this roll? Perfectly placed, 94 her final score. Back to Russell, now on 10, and another gorgeous approach shot lands her within kicking distance of the hole. Time to measure up the birdie try and get it just about right. Nice and steady, and curls it in the right edge. The birds are chirping. Still on 10, but with the second group with Brummer, and she knocks it up and out of the green, giving herself a birdie chance too. Long attempt though, and it just slips around the cup. She taps in for par. Next hole, same scenario, Brummer staring down a birdie try on 11. Another lengthy putt on tap, and this time she comes up just a tad short. Again, converts the par, finishes with an 87. Zipping ahead to 14 in the irons, and they're really working for Russell on the back 9. See, I told you, almost knocked down the pin. Carroll's McDade just off the green, but the chip gauged perfectly, and that allows her to par. But as for Russell, she's hearing more birdies. Good battle brewing between these two down the stretch. The 18 holes coming to a close. Russell in a tough spot coming into the 18th green surrounded by sand traps. But how about that? Tucks it into the back of the green to give herself a chance for a solid final score. After a putt up the hill, this one's for par, and it's good. And Russell finishes with an 82, tops on the Cardinals. Meanwhile, McDade, she had the day's lowest round of 81, but the Cardinals, they win by 23 strokes.
I think it's a different feel now. You feel like you have more of a leadership position, and it's a lot more fun, to be honest, because you know the courses that you've played and you're pretty used to it, so you don't go in there with as many nerves, at least for me, that I did when I was a freshman and a sophomore, because I feel more confident with where I'm going. I started off really rough. I was not hitting the spots I wanted to, but eventually I started to figure it out, and I started making putts and a lot of really good approach shots, which set me up for birdies. And overall, I think the day went well, except for some really bad holes, but oh well. We are very close, and I really like all of the girls. We get along really well. We're definitely rooting for each other because we're trying to stay healthy and make it to conference, because you lose one of us and then we just don't have a team, and so we're just really trying to stay healthy, and I think we're doing really well, and all the other girls have really improved, so it'll be fun to see what we do. Personally, I can if I'm just on and I stay focused through the 3 days. We went and played the course, and it was a very playable course. It was not a long course. So I think if I'm on and I'm staying focused, I'll have a good chance of making it into the top 10.
When I went to the back 9, I started to figure out myself, and then I went downhill again. But it's just our 3rd tournament, so I'm hoping this weekend I'll have a better shot at the medalist. I think I'll do well. A lot of short game practice, because that was a little rough today. Couldn't get up with my chips, and my putts couldn't make them. But other than that, I think that's probably it. We're all really close, so that it's easy to talk to each other, and when we're on our rides to out-of-state places, it's really fun because we just talk, hang out. It's just easy. It's not hard.